Hello, this is Laura O'Brien from lauraobrien.business, and I am here introducing myself and letting you know about this new channel that I'm starting up, which I hope will provide advice and support on building or growing a business with spirit. So all of this is based on a community-focused business model that gives first and receives later, maybe. From a spiritual entrepreneur, myself, who has been developing our own spiritual business since 2001. So we're in very difficult times right now, as most people are aware, right? If you're watching this at some stage in the future, hopefully we have passed through those difficult times. But currently we are in it's the 1st of April 2020. And no, this is not an April Fool. I don't think this is a year for April Fools. The entire world is on lockdown currently. So these are difficult times, and from my own community service perspective and my work as a pagan priest for many, many years, and also my God's guides and guardians are prompting and pushing me to get a little bit more serious in the advice and support that I am able to offer. So currently, if you're new to me and you don't know who I am, I'm the co-founder of the irishpaganschool.com, which provides online education on a wealth of Irish pagan topics. And I'm also the co-founder of Ilanata Press, which is publishing and merchandise. So those are basically three different areas of the business that we run. I also run quite a successful Patreon as well. And what I want to do is help and guide spiritual entrepreneurs to get through these difficult times, to, as I said, build or grow your spiritual businesses, right? So a little bit about my background. I have been involved in spiritual community since I was 18 years old, since they'd let me in, basically. That was in 1996, so you can do the maths on that one. And I've been moderating. I started moderating and building online community around 2001. I was involved with a very large London-based organization. And at one point it was back in the days of forums. Everybody was on forums. And at one point it was only myself and one other person who were moderating. And this was the biggest in the world at the time. I'm not quite sure how they're doing now, but certainly at the time. So I was learning very early how to build community, how to develop community, but also how to engage and moderate with community online. So that was a really good training ground for me. And then I got into freelance journalism in 2002. I've always loved writing, and I started to basically run it as a side gig. I was a mother to two small children at that point. I have three children all in all. But when I first started with freelance journalism in 2002, I had two very young children, and I would just do it kind of when I could and fit it in when I could. So I've a lot of experience, with it as a side gig, if you like, as well. I got my first book contract in 2004, became a pagan author. That was with an American publishing company. And I have published multiple books since then, both self-published and traditionally published. My most recent was with Llewellyn in 2019, Practical Guide to Pagan Priesthood. So moving outside the Irish pagan realm and into the more general priesthood realm, which I have been working, again, community building and community service for a very, very long time. So professionally then I began heritage guiding and community management in 2007 in Rathcroghan. In County Roscommon, which is a sacred site and a very important World Heritage Site as well. So I kind of took all the stuff that I'd been doing and started to bring that into a professional career then in business management and development, but still within that community focused heritage, and there was a huge crossover with obviously with my spirituality there as well. I moved from there. Well, I stayed in that job, but I also got basically a side contract in 2011 with the Irish government, and was working with community business development and marketing. So to bring small local community based businesses on a county-wide level, to develop them with their tech and with their marketing and consultation and strategy, basically. So I did that for over a year. Then I went full-time into freelance journalism, copywriting. I basically started my own marketing development and consultancy business then after that, after I left the heritage job. So I had been kind of doing it. I'd been doing both, and then decided that this was actually something that I really enjoyed, was helping other businesses with that marketing consultancy strategy, all that stuff. And I love teaching. I love teaching everything that I know and learned and was learning at the time. So that was in 2013 when I went full time, freelance, running my own business. But as I said, I had been doing it for a very long time, kind of on the side. And then in 2016, I started my own, I moved from the business development side of things and actually started to focus full time on spiritual entrepreneurship, because that was where I was being pushed to go, basically. I was kind of doing the spiritual stuff on the side, and trying to write books and articles and teach and present at events and do all that kind of stuff, almost as a side gig to my main business. My pay the bills, as I used to call it, was the business and marketing side of things. And it was going really well, and I learned how to run a business. And then I was like, well, why don't I take all my business, my passion for developing and running my own business, why don't I move that into the spiritual entrepreneurship space? So I did that in 2016, and I started my own website and started putting myself full time. I started my Patreon. I started running classes then as well, and publishing more books. So all that was in 2016, and then that developed then with my partner, John O'Sullivan, who is on Shkeli Biog, who's a Dagda Bard. So we both now run Elon Otter Press since 2017, which is the publishing side of our business. Then in 2018, we got really serious with the online education and started the Irish Pagan School, which is absolutely thriving, thankfully. It's doing really, really well. And we get such amazing feedback there. And and I started my YouTube channel as well. And the resources that we're able to provide both in free and paid materials for people within the Irish pagan community is just phenomenal. And obviously that's not just people inside Ireland, it's online. So it's an international community who are interested in Irish paganism primarily. So I do all my guided meditation journeys, all my teaching on Irish heritage, Irish mythology, Irish gods and goddesses, all that kind of stuff. I do all that through the Irish Pagan School, which is amazing. So that's been running since 2018. And then in 2019, then we kind of branched out from the Elon Otter Press into, we still do the press and the publishing, but we branched into merchandising. So we do t-shirts and mugs and all that kind of stuff. And there's a blog, John runs the blog over there as well. And we run a lot of Facebook groups. We do a lot of online engagement, community interaction, all that kind of stuff. So all of that is going really, really well for us. And as I said, I'm really getting a push to help other people who are interested in developing their business with spirit, because spiritual entrepreneurship is really important to me. I think that a lot of us have gifts and talents that, and even, creativity, that we love all that side of it, but we haven't got the business side of it down, and it's a big falling down point for a lot of people who could really be helping a lot more people if they were working with this community service-based model that I teach. And that's really important to me. Our kind of tagline is authentic connection to Ireland. And that connection part is actually the most important. Well, authenticity, obviously, but authentic connection to Ireland is really like the heart of everything that I've been doing and kind of building up to doing as well, my entire professional career. So we run a community service-based model. business model. And that's not that's not unique to me, definitely not. Some of the top marketers in the world, like Seth Godin, Brian Clark from Copyblogger, Amy Porterfield more recently, Gary Vaynerchuk for many, many years. You know, they all talk and teach about give, 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 right? And once you give and you support and you serve and you build your audience and you build your market that way, then you can make an offer, right? And not all of those people are coming from a spiritual perspective, but for me, that kind of community or building an audience first business model gelled so well with where I was coming from my priesthood and my spiritual practice, where I really wanted to give, 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 give. And then if I could make a living and you know, make an offer and get supported while I was doing all this work for people, then all the better, right? But for me, the offer that I'm making, every offer that I'm making has to solve a genuine problem. You know, it's not just about like receive, right? After you've give all this, that you get it back. It's not like that. It is while you're building the audience, while you're building the community, while you're listening to people, while you're you know, growing that audience and getting people involved in your message and what you're doing, you're also obviously listening to them, and you're really figuring out what problems they have and how you can help them and how you can be of service to them. So community and service are separate parts of this that really blend very well and are very, very integrated. For me, any offer that I make has to be genuinely of service to somebody. It's not just what I think people want or need. It's based directly on a feedback system that I have set up that I give a lot of time and energy and effort to, right? So if you are interested in joining me on this journey, you can subscribe to this channel and join the mailing list at the link below, and you know, become a member of my community here so that I can help you and I can give, 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 give. And yes, I may make some offers down the line, and you know, we'll see where that goes. But primarily, as I said, I am being pushed and prompted to make sure that the people who need the support and the guidance of my experience have access to that, right? And I have been doing some of that almost as a sideline to my business, my spiritual business, my own personal spiritual business. Just when people need help, I've been, you know, helping them and guiding them. I have another blog called Do the Work System, which has been very much about kind of self-development and all that kind of stuff. So that was kind of ticking over for a while, and you know, and I really like the little group that's formed around that, and that's all great. But I really wanted to focus specifically on spiritual entrepreneurship and where and how I can be of service there. So if you are interested in that, definitely join the mailing list and subscribe to the channel for more how-to videos. It's all going to be very practical, right? And let me know what you need. Let me know what you're interested in. Absolutely. Send me an email, right? Join the mailing list, send me an email, and make sure that that I know what you need. And I hope that you will let me be of service to you in building your business with spirit. Okay, so slán go fóill, and I will see you in the next video. This is Lora O'Brien.business signing off from my first YouTube video here.